I am Shunichi Suzuki, Minister of State for Financial Services. Thank you so much for participating in the Transition to Net Zero, an international conference hosted by the Financial Services Agency Japan. This conference will focus on two areas: useful pathways for each industrial sector in the transition as we proceed steadily to a decarbonized society in order to prevent the acceleration of climate change, and the roles of the private financial sector to support these transitions. Climate change is quite a memorable theme for me, as I was the Minister of the Environment in 2002, exactly 20 years ago from this year. I vividly recall the earnest discussions in order to have the Kyoto Protocol take effect. 20 years have passed since, and the Paris Agreement entered into force in 2016, rapidly promoting international collaboration. Responses to climate change has become an imminent challenge around the globe. In 2020, the Japanese government raised the flag of Carbon Neutrality 2050, and since has been intensely implementing initiatives to that end. Efforts on transition are important towards the achievement of the Paris goals. In the process, the roles of the financial industry in supporting the transition have been drawing particular attention. The importance of transition finance is now commonly shared in the international society through such frameworks as the G20. Since early on, Japan has been stressing the importance of transition. For instance, in May 2021, we, the JFSA, released the basic guidelines on climate transition finance together with the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, METI, and the Ministry of the Environment, MOE. Thereafter, various efforts have been launched, including the creation of sector-specific roadmaps formulated by METI and the Ministry of Land, Infrastructure, Transport and Tourism to encourage transition in the hard-to-abate industries. The JFSA, jointly with relevant ministries and agencies, is contributing to the development of transition finance and introducing policies to facilitate sustainable finance from the following 3 points, hoping to realize a sustainable society. First, enhancing corporate disclosure on climate-related information. Second, improving the environment to enable the capital market to exercise its function. And finally, ensuring that financial institutions support investees and borrowers and perform proper management of climate-related risk. In April this year, JFSA released a draft supervisory guidance on climate-related risk management, which positions financial institutions' support to clients' response to climate change, including in the area of transition, as the centerpiece of climate change-related initiatives by financial institutions themselves. The guidance will be finalized in June. Regarding transition finance, in addition to such efforts by the government, there is active engagement by the private sector. As we work to fulfill the Paris Agreement, discussions are in progress on such subjects as how to assess the credibility of transition plans or how to facilitate innovation necessary for transition. One of such active private sector initiatives is the Glasgow Financial Alliance for Net Zero. A pre-recorded dialogue between Mr. Mark Carney, United Nations Special Envoy on Climate Action and Finance and co-chair of GFANZ, and Mr. Hiromichi Mizuno, the United Nations Special Envoy on Innovative Finance and Sustainable Investments regarding transition finance with an eye on the recent energy situation, will kickstart today's discussion. After the dialogue, Dr. Darian McGain, Chief Sustainability Officer at the Monetary Authority of Singapore, will deliver a keynote speech on transition-related efforts in Asia and the roles of authorities. Thereafter, panel discussions will follow on such subjects as the domestic and overseas efforts being made towards carbon neutrality and credible transition pathways in the steel, aviation, power, and financial sectors. In order to organize discussions covering a diverse range of subjects, we have invited key people from the financial sector, industry, and government agencies, domestic and overseas, for today's event. To resolve climate change, which is a global challenge, it is crucially important for all stakeholders to pursue cross-border collaboration. I hope this conference will be of some help to facilitate the international collaboration towards the realization of a sustainable future.